Hello and welcome everyone to the Tech Sharmit Podcast. Today I'm here with a very special guest, Emma Skovgård, who has joined us all the way from Denmark. And if I talk more about Emma, then she is the first IBM Z Student Ambassador. Not only this, she is also holding the prestigious title of IBM Champion 2024, and she's continuously contributing for the IBM Society and through her advocacy activities. So, in this podcast, we are going to discuss various things with Emma and we'll try to learn from her experiences. But just before that, I'd like to thank Emma for joining us today. And I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us something about yourself and your experiences so far.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm an IBM champion. I work in an insurance company in the systems programming group. I'm a generalist, so I do a bit of everything with a few exceptions. I've been involved in the modernization efforts at my company, and I've been really enjoying my time on the platform so far. I'm coming up on 1 year of learning the mainframe. I started in early May 2023. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So thank you so much, Emma, for this introduction. And now we would like to hear more about your journey. So could you please tell us, like, how did you discover your passion for the mainframe technology, and what inspired you to pursue a career in mainframe system programming?
Yeah, so about a year ago, I was really struggling to find work. I had just started studying at a vocational school, and I needed an apprenticeship as a part of my education. And I kept sending out applications to various companies, and I kept getting rejections. And then finally, I got my first interview with a company, and it was a group interview. And towards the end of the interview, they were like fishing for people interested in the working on the mainframe, because they really needed new people to like take over, as like the current workforce was aging. And they were like talking about how fast the mainframe is and how powerful it is and all this stuff. And I was really surprised because I'd always heard about how old the mainframe was and stuff like that, and how it was just a legacy platform, just barely clinging onto life. And afterwards, I went home and like fact checked everything because I was really surprised. And yeah, it all checked out. So I started learning it because I was like, okay, I need a job. So I started looking into all this stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very interesting how CEOs and COBOL and all this stuff worked. I ended up getting a rejection from that company as well. But when they saw I was learning about the mainframe, they actually called me and took me in for a second interview, and I got the job, and I'm still working in that function now. So that's how I got into mainframes.
Okay, yeah. So from your journey, like, it is quite clear that yes, you might face the rejection during your initial days, but if you are consistent and if you are learning the new things, then for sure there is some success in your way. So that's great. And as we know that you are the first IBM student ambassador from Denmark. So my question is, like, being a first student ambassador from Denmark, how you have approached promoting mainframe technology and careers, and what have you learned from your experience so far?
Last year I was at this event in Copenhagen. It's this free tech event. I think it was called Digital Tech Summit. And I talked to about 120 students or something like that. And I learned that when you're like talking to people who don't know anything about mainframes, it's important that you first of all start by explaining what a mainframe is. Like, that might sound self-explanatory, but I've seen a lot of people that actually fail at that part and start talking about kicks or IMS or something like that. And then from there you can like slowly get more and more technical. But before you even get to the technical parts, I like to put in some information about like the job opportunities on the mainframe. So like start off with what is a mainframe, talk about like why people should care, and then you can get into the hardcore stuff. So that's like the kind of structure I developed for promoting the mainframe, and it worked really well. The students were very interested in learning about this platform, and we actually ended up hiring one of the people I talked to at the event. So I'd say it was a pretty big success. And it, yeah.
Yeah, you are right. Like sharing something with your with the people of your same domain, your domain network. So yeah, it is something that we can consider as an achievement, because we have not only learned, we are also contributing for others also who are maybe who just started their career there. So that's great, and your dedication in promoting mainframe technology is truly inspiring, especially for those who have just started their career in mainframe technology. And just for those audience, could you please share or could you please offer some advice to those students who are also interested in becoming a IBM Z Student Ambassador?
I would start by finishing both of the IBM Z Explore badges. I see a lot of people getting into it before they've really learned something, and I personally think that's a bit backwards. You're more able to like promote the platform if you have some understanding of how it works. You don't need to be an expert or anything like that, but like actually having a little bit of experience working with it will equip you better. So I would recommend spending a few months learning about the platform before applying. They do allow you to apply without having completed both of the Set Explore badges. But personally, I think that's a better approach to just learn a little bit about it before.
Okay. And regarding the learning material, because nowadays people are mostly dependent on online things. So, is there anything which you would like to recommend, like any specific playlist or any specific course that you might have covered during your initial days for learning the mainframe?
There's a lot of great free stuff on the IBM website that a lot of people miss out on. Obviously, there's Set Explore, but there's also some more hardcore courses on the IBM website. I took a few of those early on, and they're completely free. So I definitely go there if I was starting out again.
Okay, so yeah, like if anyone is keen to start learning the mainframe, then they can easily refer the free content available and provided by the IBM. So yeah, that's a good advice. And like as you mentioned, that rejection is one thing that you faced during your initial days. Apart from this, what are some of the challenges and opportunity challenges as well as the opportunity that you have encountered while working towards the to become the mainframe system programmer?
Um, that's like a lot of the systems programmers out there right now have a lot of information in their heads, and a lot of this stuff is just not documented anywhere, or is documented very poorly. That's a big challenge. I very often encounter like IBM pages that say, "Oh, consult your systems program," and that's just not a very helpful thing to see when you're looking up like an error code. So I think that's like one of the big challenges out there right now. Like, how do we preserve all the information currently in the heads of senior mainframers and get it into the heads of younger senior or younger systems programmers. and so on. Like I just fear that there's going to be a lot of information that will be lost or very difficult to acquire moving forward.
Okay. Yeah. So like I'm also from the legacy background, from the IBM background. So yes, I'm agree with you that for legacy platform mainly, like there are documentation is one challenge that we can consider, because as compared to other modern language and technology, there are not enough document available to learn the things and to figure out if, let's say, if you are facing any challenges. So although like IBM has provided good stuff on website, but still like if as compared to other languages, there are not enough thing to rectify the things that you are facing, or to learn more about the things. So you have recently started your career in the Z mainframe technology, and like you have also faced some challenges, as well as you have also encountered some great opportunity throughout your career so far. So, what kind of improvement would you like to see in the mainframe learning offerings?
I would like to see a bigger focus on community-driven learning, like sites made by the community with like tutorials that the community wants to see. Like we see a lot of stuff from Broadcom and IBM where they're trying to make what they think we need or what they think we want. And I want the community to take more charge on the learning. I think there's a lot of value in that, because the users are those are the ones that know what people are struggling with, like not these big companies. I would really like to see community efforts like that. I think that would be a huge thing for people starting out, and people who are junior systems programmers like myself.
Okay, and like usually when we hear about the myths, like I would say the myths, because nowadays everyone is saying that yes, mainframe is about to dead, or other technologies are about to dead. So how you are like what are your thoughts on the future direction of mainframe, particularly regarding the modernization efforts and the adoption of emerging technologies?
I think we'll see even more Linux on the mainframe going forward. Like, company is going to spin up like new instances of COS and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's pretty much as much as I like COS, it is a stagnant operating system in terms of like not features, but like companies adopting it. So I think Linux One is like going to be the future moving forward. So personally, I need to learn more Linux because that's just the way things are moving from the way I see it. COS isn't going anywhere, because as long as there's banks, there's going to be systems that run it. But I think we'll get to a point where Linux One is way bigger than the IBM Z systems.
Okay, okay, yeah. And let's say if someone is in your domain, IBM Z mainframe technology, they are working. And apart from like that particular technology, if you would like to suggest any other technology or tools, like what would you like to recommend to learn other than this mainframe, or that we can utilize with mainframe? Because you are spending your time with mainframe technology as a developer. So what piece of advice would you like to give? Like, yes, this is the technology that we can learn, and we can also include this with our day-to-day work using mainframe technology.
Really like all the stuff that's happening with development tools. Like we're seeing all these non-mainframe tools making their way onto the mainframe. We're seeing containers, VS Code, and there's also some stuff that's been underway for like 20 years now, like the REST APIs. Those also came from other systems. Like I really love seeing how the mainframe is actually learning from other platforms. Like Well, I do think the Mainframe is the best platform. It's pretty clear that there are stuff we can learn from other platforms, and I hope this trend continues.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I also saw your one of your post on LinkedIn, which was related to the VS Code for mainframe. So I think there was some post related to the plugins of VS Code. So yeah, like nowadays VS Code is providing various. If I talk about the IBM field also, there are various plugins that we can utilize in order to do the development in a proper manner. So now that typical screens are not needed, like we can go with the advanced tools like VS Code. So that's a good thing. So apart from this, like, could you please tell us something about your ongoing advocacy act? Because we know that you are a IBM champion, and being an IBM champion, I also know that it is uh, recommended and it is always needed to provide the better thing to IBM community. So what are your ongoing advocacy act and how you are managing to provide those things to the society back?
I have a panel coming up in I think it's June with IntelliMagic, which was recently acquired by IBM. I also have some other stuff potentially coming up that hasn't been approved yet, and I recently had a presentation with the academic mainframe consortium, I think it's called, on VS Code. That one inspired some people to look into VS Code at the company. So that was a pretty good achievement, I feel like. I'm hoping to get even more presentations done this year, and also some other stuff. I have a project coming up very soon that I'm not quite ready to talk about, but I think a lot of people will enjoy.
Okay, and how do, like, if I talk about those who are new to this technology and they want to learn this, so how they can find out the presentation that you are preparing? So is there any specific website or any channel where you are uploading those presentation?
If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see most of it. I repost stuff from these presentations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, so yeah, like those who want to stay updated with this technology, they can follow Emma on LinkedIn. I'll provide the her social media link, so you can simply follow her and just stay updated with the mainframe technology, because she's continuously doing the advocacy activities and many other things that might be useful for the audience. So I'll share the link for sure in the description. So apart from this, your technical things, what are your hobbies, like how you are spending your time on your weekends, or maybe if other than this professional life?
Um, I'm a big techie, so I spend a lot of my time learning non-mainframe things. Like I've been doing a lot of web development in my spare time, and I also like to play video games in my spare time. I've been playing Ready or Not recently, which is this SWAT simulator essentially. It's pretty fun. Yeah, that's been most of my hobbies recently.
Okay, so so far have you got any chance to learn about any technology for creating video games?
Yeah, I actually started out learning programming for making small video games in this 2D framework called Love. It's pretty cool. It uses the scripting language called Lua.
Okay.
It's pretty hardcore because it doesn't really ship with a lot of with like a lot of like systems already. Like you have to make your own UI system if you need something like that. It just gives you like the very bare essentials, like like the ability to get keyboard input and stuff like that, and to actually like make something useful, you'll have to design all these systems, not quite from the ground up, but pretty close. And I thought that was like a great way to learn. A lot of people these days are using um, a lot of like game engines, or if they're doing web stuff, they're using a ton of like um, uh, npm packages and stuff like that. But this gave me like a much greater sense of like how everything works, because I had to do most things almost from the ground up. So I think that's a great way to learn programming.
Yeah, that's quite inspiring. Like you are not only playing the games, even you are exploring the technology behind that. Like you are also trying to learn the things like how the games are building and how everyone is creating those games. So that's a good thing. Like because we are also enjoying the time and we are also learning about the technology that is running behind it. So that's a good thing. And Aman, could you please tell us something about your mentors or to whom you think as a role model for your life, like maybe related to your professional journey or your personal life? So, who is your mentor?
Um, that's a few. I feel like Steven from Mintono. I learned a lot from him, not just about technical things, but also about like how I should conduct myself and think about I guess life, like my attitude and stuff. I learned a lot from him. At work. Uh, there's this guy Henrik that is training me and stuff. But I also learn a lot from him about how I should like approach things and issues that come up. So I learn a lot from those two. But there's so many great people in this space, honestly. Like that's one of the best things about the mainframe space. Like people are so willing to help you out, and there's a lot of different perspectives on things. It's very easy to get in touch with all these legends in the industry. So like the list would be very long if I were to list everything I learned from.
Yeah, I also noticed that on LinkedIn or other social media platform, there are many experts who are willing to share their expertise. Like I also talked with Reg Harbeck. He's also contributing for the Z mainframe technology continuously. Like he's sharing his expertise and providing all the needed guidance for those who want to pursue their career in Z mainframe. So that's a good thing. So yeah, like there are although there are many things that we can discuss, and but just because of the limited time, I would like to ask my last question. Like could you please tell us something about your goals and aspiration in the field of mainframe technology, and how do you plan to achieve them?
I um I really want to contribute more to like the learning um like landscape or whatever you want to call it. Like I think there's a lot of room for improvement in that area. Um, so moving forward, I hope I'll be able to do more stuff on that front, more technical articles and tutorials and stuff like that. That's a big motivator for learning new stuff. Actually, I really want to be able to get other students and junior systems programmers through all the stuff I struggle with on a daily basis. Because while I do love the space a lot, it is also a very challenging one to be in. There's so many technologies that one is expected to learn in the space.
Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, so I think now we are at the good stopping point. So thank you so much, Emma, for joining us today. I hope you also enjoyed the podcast, and
Yeah,
good
it was
wishes for
great
the
being
year
here.
ahead. Thank you.